Welcome to Wonderslate. Subscribe to our Telegram channel given in the description to updates and study materials. Topic for today's quiz is Information and Communication Technology, ICT, Set 3. Question number 1. A policy that outlines appropriate use of the Internet is called an Option A. IOP. Option B. TCP. Option C. APU. Option D. None of the above. The correct answer is Option C. APU. An Acceptable Use Policy, AUP, is a document stipulating constraints and practices that a user must agree to for access to a corporate network or the Internet. Question number 2. MTSO stands for Option A. Mobile Tower Server Office. Option B. Mobile Telephone Server Office. Option C. Mobile Telephone Switching Office. Option D. None of the above. The correct answer is Option C. Mobile Telephone Switching Office. The Mobile Telephone Switching Office, MTSO, is the mobile equivalent of a PSTN central office. The MTSO contains the switching equipment or mobile switching center, MSC, for routing mobile phone calls. It also contains the equipment for controlling the cell sites that are connected to the MSC. Question number 3. Which of the following is not a feature of first-generation computers? Option A. They used vacuum tubes or valves as main electronic component. Option B. They consumed lots of electricity and produced excessive heat. Option C. They used machine language and assembly language to program the machine. Option D. None of above. The correct answer is Option B. They consumed lots of electricity and produced excessive heat. The following are the characteristics of first-generation computers. Vacuum tubes were used as the principal electronic components in the first generations of computers. It had a limited storage capacity to store data. Magnetic drums were used for storing data. Question number 4. A is a small program embedded inside of a GIF image. Option A. Web bug. Option B. Cookie. Option C. Spyware application. Option D. Spam. The correct answer is Option A. Web bug. A web bug, also known as a web beacon, is a file object that is placed on a web page or in an email message to monitor user behavior. Unlike a cookie, which can be accepted or declined by a browser user, a web bug arrives as just another GIF or other file object. Question number 5. Some viruses are hidden in, which are instructions saved in an application such as a word processing or spreadsheet program. Option A. Macros. Option B. Data. Option C. All of these. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is Option A. Macros. Macroviruses, on the other hand, are often created by user error and are spread via the macro features of programs like Microsoft Word and Excel. A macro is a series of commands grouped together as a single command in order to expedite time-consuming procedures. Question number 6. The operating feature that integrates the file created in different application into web pages. Option A. Web integration. Option B. Internet integration. Option C. Intranet integration. Option D. Hypertext integration. The correct answer is Option A. Web integration. A web-based application is any program that is accessed over a network connection using HTTP, rather than existing within a device's memory. Web-based applications often run inside a web browser. Web-based applications are also known as web apps. Question number 7. In broadband system or network system? Option A. Several analog signals share the same physical network channel. Option B. Only digital signals share the same physical network channel. Option C. Single analog signals share the same physical network channel. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is Option A. Several analog signals share the same physical network channel. Broadband is wide bandwidth data transmission which transports multiple signals and traffic types. In the context of internet access, broadband is used to mean any high-speed internet access that is always on and faster than dial-up access over traditional analog or ISDN PSTN services. Question number 8. Which refers to any program that is not copyrighted? Option A. Shareware. Option B. Public domain software. Option C. Open source software. Option D. All the above. The correct answer is Option B. Public domain software. Public domain software refers to any program that is not copyrighted. The term public domain software is often used incorrectly to include freeware, free software that is nevertheless copyrighted. Question number 9. The symbols used in an assembly language are: Option A. Codes. Option B. Mnemonics. Option C. Assembler. Option D. None of the above. The correct answer is Option B. Mnemonics. Instructions, statements, in assembly language are generally very simple, unlike those in high-level languages. Generally, a mnemonic is a symbolic name for a single executable machine language instruction, an opcode, and there is at least one opcode mnemonic defined for each machine language instruction. Question number 10. Artificial intelligence is associated with which generation? Option A. First generation. Option B. Second generation. Option C. Fifth generation. Option D. Sixth generation. The correct answer is Option C. Fifth generation. Artificial intelligence is associated with fifth-generation computers. Artificial intelligence is an area of computer science concerned with making the computer perform tasks which, to be successfully done by human beings, require intelligence. Question number 11. A storage device or medium where the access time is dependent upon the location of the data is called: Option A. Serial access. Option B. Parallel access. Option C. Null access. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is Option A. Serial access. Serial access is where data records are stored one after the other with no regard to the order. This is usually an unprocessed file. Serial files are read by starting at the beginning and reading through every record until you find the one that you want. Magnetic tape and disks can be used to store serial files. Question number 12. The first microprocessor built by the Intel Corporation was called: Option A. 8008. Option B. 8080. Option C. 4004. Option D. 8800. The correct answer is Option C. 4004. Intel 4004. The Intel 4004 is a 4-bit central processing unit, CPU, released by Intel Corporation in 1971. It was the first commercially available microprocessor by Intel, and the first in a long line of Intel CPUs. Question number 13. During the portion of the information processing cycle, The computer acquires data from some source. Option A. Storage and output. Option B. Storage. Option C. Input. Option D. Output. The correct answer is option C. Input. Information processing cycle is a sequence of events consisting of input, processing, storage and output. These events are similar as in case of data processing cycle. The computer receives data and instructions during the input stage of the information processing cycle. Question number 14. Modifying data in a domain name system, DNS, server so that calls to particular websites or even entire domains are misdirected for fraudulent purposes is termed as option A. DNS cache poisoning. Option B. Phishing. Option C. None of the above. Option D. All the above. The correct answer is option A. DNS cache poisoning. A DNS cache is poisoned when the server receives an incorrect entry. To put this into perspective, it can occur when a hacker gains control over a DNS server and then changes information in it. Question number 15. An airline reservation system is an example of option A. Batch processing. Option B. Real-time processing. Option C. Interactive processing. Option D. Distributed processing. The correct answer is option B. Real-time processing. Batch processing requires separate programs for input, process and output. An example is payroll and billing systems. In contrast, real-time data processing involves a continual input, process and output of data. Data must be processed in a small time period, or near real time. Question number 16. An impact printer creates characters by using option A. An ink ribbon and print head. Option B. Electrically charged ink. Option C. An ink pen. Option D. All of the above. The correct answer is option A. An ink ribbon and print head. To create text or image by physically make the print head to press the ink ribbon and cause the ink deposition on the paper in desired form is called impact printer. Question number 17. The register which keeps track of the execution of a program and which contains the memory address of the instruction currently being executed is known as option A. Index register. Option B. Memory address register. Option C. Program counter. Option D. Instruction register. The correct answer is option C. Program counter. A program counter is a register in a computer processor that contains the address, location, of the instruction being executed at the current time. As each instruction gets fetched, the program counter increases its stored value by 1. After each instruction is fetched, the program counter points to the next instruction in the sequence. When the computer restarts or is reset, the program counter normally reverts to 0. Question number 18. Is a data area shared by hardware devices or program processes that operate at different speeds or with different sets of priorities? Option A. Virtual memory. Option B. Buffer. Option C. None of the above. Option D. All the above. The correct answer is option B. Buffer. A data buffer, or just buffer, is a region of a physical memory storage used to temporarily store data while it is being moved from one place to another. However, a buffer may be used when moving data between processes within a computer. Question number 19. When a key is pressed on the keyboard, Which standard is used for converting the keystroke into corresponding bits? Option A. ANSI. Option B. EBCDIC. Option C. ASCII. Option D. ISO. The correct answer is Option A. ANSI. ANSI encoding is a slightly generic term used to refer to the standard code page on a system, usually Windows. It is more properly referred to as Windows 1252 on Western US systems. It can represent certain other Windows code pages on other systems. Question number 20. A compiler translates a program written in a high-level language into Option A. Machine language. Option B. A debugged program. Option C. Java. Option D. All the above. The correct answer is Option A. Machine language. A compiler is a computer program that translates code written in a high-level language to a lower-level language, object/machine code. The most common reason for translating source code is to create an executable program, converting from a high-level language into machine language. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd like practice this quiz, then download the Wonderslate app now, link in the description below. If you have any suggestion for us, feel free to leave comments. If you liked the video and want to see more of it, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to click on subscribe button to get more updates of the future videos.